Okay, I gave them a thumbs up. Did they see it?
No, they're on their.
Hello, good afternoon.
Morning.
Still morning.
Oh, still morning?
Still morning.
Right, afternoon somewhere, maybe Canada.
Okay. I'm in just a little. That's better. Okay. Ready when you are.
Awesome. So, good morning and welcome to our presentation. My name is Christopher and I'm a task coordinator for Group 14. We did an industry challenge on the Mezzo Spritz and I'm going to introduce it for you now. So, Virtue Cider was looking for consultation on how to best launch their new product, the Mezzo Spritz, a cider-based sparkling beverage with such flavors as grapefruit and blood orange. Our work addresses challenges of launch events, marketing message, distribution, and product location. They furthermore hope to expand the popularity of spritz products in America. And this comes as a reaction to a decline in hard cider sales as consumers are looking for more health-conscious, low ABV, low-calorie alternatives. This is the product as it stands now, and although it looks simple, this came as a change to a lot of mood boards, a lot of reworks, name changes, etc. It was meant to cater to our target audience, which is largely below the age of 35 and reflects craft cider consumers, over 50% of them are below the age of 35. And their trends are what dictate our target market. So the competition for this product as right now that we found, there was only one other cider-based spritz by Shaftesbury. Otherwise, there's Aperol, however that doesn't meet the trend that the consumers are looking for, and wine-based spritzes, which are becoming more popular, however, they have a different flavor profile from cider-based spritzes. We had a markup on it with Virtue Cider where we gave them general recommendations for their social media pages, which were well received, and they hope to implement them in the future, and they focused on quality of the post, consistency, as well as brand aesthetic. So our focus for this term, as well as for the rest of this presentation, will be to expand in further detail on our launch event, which had an Italian twist, to expand on the trade distribution and provide alternatives for where to place the product in stores and shelves, to create food pairings for the product, as well as to create other cocktails and show the versatility of the spritz. Now I'm going to pass along to Blake, our product manager, who will discuss the placement of the product in stores.
Thank you, Chris. As Chris mentioned, my name is Blake and I'm the distribution manager. I'll be talking about the product placement for the Mezzo Spritz. Now obviously, Virtue will have to come up with a pitch and a launch plan that the buyer will then determine the viability of for Mezzo Spritz. Now, Mezzo Spritz, being a spritz, will not have any real location in a store as of yet. Other spritzes are currently placed with wine because they're a wine-based spritz, and also you will find in supermarkets that spritzes sort of are placed in seemingly random locations with no real purpose at the moment. Now, the ultimate goal is for Virtue to pioneer a spritz location within stores. This could be done by attaching all spritz currently to a cider section, and then over time as the product builds popularity, it can branch off into its own segment. Now, in the meantime, we recommend that spritz products be placed in one of the following two, or both of the following two locations within stores. The first being in the wine section with the wine spritz to build up recognition for the product with the current spritz drinkers. The next is to be in the mixers section, in the alcohol section still. And this is because Virtue hopes to market the product as a tasty cocktail enhancer as well as an individual beverage. Now, in addition to these two locations, we recommend that Virtue imitate their seasonal rotation plan they have implemented with their current cider products. This is to start the product and maintain the product in the alcohol section with those mixers or wine spritz. Slowly over 3 to 4 months move into aisle end caps as well, and then 8 to 10 months move into the produce section with a display with the appropriate produce such as grapefruit or blood orange. Here you will find our main and secondary display options. And the main display is like this beautiful tree here with the mezzo containing from it, usually much larger, much more expensive, and usually in flagship stores or stores such as Italy that you'll find in Chicago. And they're usually placed within eyeshot of the entrance of the store so that when you walk in, the customer will be then curious about the product as they shop. The The secondary display here is a display that is a good example of what I mentioned previously for the produce section. So it will then be placed with the appropriate produce such as blood orange or grapefruit. It's much less expensive, and then it also enhances the summery vibe that Mezzo is trying to give. Up next, we'll have Anna Fried talking about our proposed launch party.
Thank you so much. So my name is Anna Fried, and I am the event coordinator of our team. We were faced with creating this event for Virtue Cider in the middle of winter, even though this is a very summery cocktail. So we chose this kind of venue inspiration to create a lush atmosphere and kind of mimic a summery vibe. We ended up choosing the location Cafe Bonhomme, which is right on the river here in Chicago. And the goal and the outcomes of the event will be to introduce the Mezzo Spritz and show its versatility to the key stakeholders and create an excitement and buzz around this new product that we are launching. So we created a guest list where we would invite industry, people from the industry, like restaurants around Chicago and different distributors to help us spread the word, and more so we also use different influencers from Instagram and other social media channels to help us create a positive effect of this launch party. So here's an example of the invitation that we're hoping to give out to them, and to the right you have some just different marketing materials to get a clearer image of what the product will bring. We also decided to create this event in conjunction with a charitable act. So we chose to partner with the company Imperfect Produce, who is a company that tries to limit the food waste in the world. And these are some of the outcomes that they have created. And this event will be a perfect opportunity for them to show what they're doing and also help with our catering purposes for the event. And now Zach will go into a little bit more detail of the event itself during the day and some cocktail creations.
Hi, my name is Zach. I am the beverage coordinator for this group. I'm going to be breaking down a little bit of how the event's going to run out and also a little bit of our pairings. So shown here, our program is going to be starting at 1 p.m. that Sunday afternoon. Right away, guests will be arriving and we'll be greeting with warm welcomes, considering that's in the middle of winter. I'll be handing out name tags for everyone. Right away, the cocktail reception will begin, as long as the food will also be distributed. Then Greg Hall, the founder of Virtue Cider, will actually be talking about a little bit about the product and the story behind Virtue Cider. Then the cocktail demos will then begin, talking more about how the cocktails were made and the story behind those as well. The Imperfect Produce will then have a speech of their own, talking about their goals and their mission and how they came to be. And then our guest engagement will be actually having a raffle be at the very end of the event, and we'll have a little bit of competition. Last call will be around about 4:45 in the afternoon, so our event will wrap around about at 5 o'clock. Then carrying on to our menu, we wanted to bring our little bit of an Italian twist. So we went with the Negroni, so we call it the Mezzo Negroni. That is going to be pairing next to the Burrata Crostini. The Martillo is a great earthy kind of drink, also with nice fruit notes and citrus notes. So we wanted to bring the wild mushroom crostini into play, pairing up with the Martillo. And then our favorite, the Cider 75, nice and bubbly, pairs really well with nice fried food. So we wanted to bring the mini fried chicken bites into play for that. Next would be Kaylin. She'll be talking about our financial breakdown, as well as a bit more detail into our pairings.
So good afternoon, my name is Kaylin. I am the F&B director of this event. So the food, we're looking to have about 150 people at this event. Because Cafe Bonhomme is a smaller space, it's going to really encourage more networking and getting to know each other. And moving on forward from that, we want to make sure that everybody is satiated and well enjoying themselves. So we will have about a 30% margin for food and for beverages as well. We will have 4 bites, which would be the gazpacho, we'll have the mushroom crostini, we'll have the burrata crostini, as well as the gazpacho. So these bites are meant to be enjoyed by everybody, which means that we want to ensure that we are covering dietary restrictions and allergens to make sure that everybody can have a little bit of something. So the gazpacho is going to be vegan, and both of the crostinis can be made gluten-free for our gluten-free friends. Moving into the financial breakdown, So we were tasked with creating a event under $10,000, which is a little tricky within Chicago. We actually made our $10,000 budget, which was super exciting for us as a team. So these numbers we received from the event coordinator at Cafe Bonhomme during our market research.